But what am I going to ramble about? Well, let's see here. Motorcycles, for one thing. And probably a little educational video, inspirational video for those who are wanting to ride. But you're probably asking, well, how do you get your motorcycle license? How do you get a motorcycle? What bike should I get? Well, the first answer to the question is you've never been on a bike. I suggest you take a MSF course. You can take one through Harley Davidson. That's what I done. And the Harley Davidson course costs you about 150 to 175 bucks, something like that. And of course, you'll have to buy some gear. All they really ask of you is to have long sleeve pants, a long sleeve shirt, over the ankle footwear, and a helmet. Whether it's a half helmet, if you get a half helmet, you gotta buy some goggles. And if you get a full face helmet, you're covered. Full face helmet will run you roughly up to anywhere between $200 to $800. I've seen some go for $1,000. I guess it depends on what you're looking for and what you want. Personally, I spent like $200 on mine. Mine's just basic, no Bluetooth features or anything, just a full face helmet. And you'll spend 3 days in the classroom. Well, actually, 1.5 day in the classroom. 2 days you'll be out on the course and you'll get in the classroom for a little bit. And your first day, you go in, you sit down in class, and watch PowerPoints, videos of safety, what to do, what not to do, fun stuff. Second day, they take you out on the course, and you'll be riding little Harley Street 500s, and you'll be learning how to start it, how to stop it, how to roll, how to use friction zone, clutch throttle control. And then the second day, you'll be learning a little more advanced maneuvers. Stopping from a turn, doing the peanut exercise, how to cross over an object, how to swerve an object. And then you will take your skills test. And the skills test will determine if you get your endorsement or not, which, let me go ahead and tell you, if you get your endorsement, it'll save you a lot on insurance. And from there on out, you go to the DMV the next day, you show them your endorsement, call your insurance company, you tell them you took the class, you send them a picture of your endorsement, and then you're all set. But believe it or not, and I was shocked to find this out, you do not need a motorcycle license to buy a motorcycle. Now, financing it, yeah, you're going to need your license. But let's talk about bikes now. Now, what bike do I think is suitable for a beginner who's never rode in their life? Well, my opinion may be biased because I'm roughly 6 foot. Now, I started out with a 1999 Yamaha V-Star 650. And I'd say it's a mid-sized bike. You know, it's a little up from the Street 500, but it taught me a lot. And to be honest with you, I didn't have my endorsement when I got my first bike. The truth is, though, I took the MSF course twice. First time was my introduction to motorcycles, because I'd never been on one. And, you know, I never drove a standard or anything else like that, so the clutch throttle messed me up a bit. But I didn't let it stop me. Because if you ask me, the word fail doesn't mean you lose. The word fail means first attempt in learning. So, you know, I ended up recovering from my failure, and I learned a lot. So, I ended up buying my V-Star from Facebook Marketplace for $2,000. And, you know, it was in 1999, so of course there was a lot of issues with it. Not hard issues, but like simple, stupid issues. I had a seat that barely stayed on. The rear fender barely stayed on. But I still rode it. And I learned from it. And how I learned and taught myself, I go to a parking lot and I would bring sidewalk chalk with me. And with the sidewalk chalk, I would mark up the pavement as if they were cones. And that really did help quite a bit. So I'd copy the course down, made my imaginary cones, and I just kept on till I built up enough rider confidence. And then I took the Harley Davidson MSF course again. And I went in there with a lot of confidence. Because I told myself, I'm getting my license. And I did. But let me go ahead and point out something to you too. You do not want your first bike to be a Harley Davidson. And I'll tell you a lot of reasons why. Number one, Harley Davidsons are ungodly expensive. Especially the newer models. Like, I think the cheapest you'll find, whether it's on Marketplace or a dealership, is usually a Sportster. And I don't mean to sound biased here or anything, but I've heard from a lot of bikers, they say Sportsters are a girl's bike. Now, I've never been on a Sportster, have no desire, but I was told that my tall figure would look very funny on a Sportster. Not to mention, with Harley, you're paying more for than just a bike. You are paying for the name. And they told us at the Harley course, because in the course they'll give you a shop of the dealership, give you a little tour, you look at the repair shops, and they'll even tell you, working on Harleys is different than any other bike because you got Harley made tools that are meant for Harley bikes that are used by Harley certified mechanics that live, breathe, eat, and sleep Harley Davidson. Now just put it this way. I think Harley Davidson probably does more business with their shirts, merch, and gear than they do their home bikes. And I'm not completely talking shit about Harley. I mean, I see myself one day owning a Harley myself, but now's not the time. And if you're wondering what I'm riding right now, it is a 2004 Honda Shadow Sabre V-Twin 1100. I bought this thing when it had 42,000 miles, and since my road trips and daily day commute, and now got 44,000 on it, and it's still purring, and I love it. Now, if you want my honest opinion, if you want a pretty good first bike, I'd say go for your Japanese bikes, Japanese cruisers, Honda, Suzuki, Kawasaki, Yamaha. Those are pretty good. But I like to think riding is it's a big form of therapeutic energy because it's relaxing. Because when you're on the bike, it's like meditating, but you're riding. Feel the wind in your face and everything. And to be honest, riding has saved me. Because you see, back in mid to late 2022, I started getting curious on riding. So I started looking up YouTube videos, started watching Sean from SRK Cycles, Bikes and Beards, and Yami Noob. And I taught myself somewhat how to ride. I taught myself the basics and what to look for when to ride by watching their YouTube videos and content. And next year, 2023, I started getting real serious about it. And I remember signing up for the motorcycle permit test. And I remember the following morning, I told my mother I was going to get my motorcycle license whether she liked it or not. Well, unfortunately, the week before I took my permit test, my mother passed away. And it hurt because this woman's been a part of a large portion of my life. She taught me a lot of things. And beforehand, I went to Harley Davidson, Man of War, and bought my first, I guess you could say my first motorcycle. I couldn't ride it, and the reason being it was a model toy. And you know, for me personally, if I want something, I want a tool to help me manifest it. So that's why I bought that model toy as like a reminder, hey, you still got a motorcycle to get. And one day, once my partner and I moved in together, I was just sitting at home and I looked at my mother's altar. Now, my mom's altar is a picture of her face with my motorcycle right beside her, my model motorcycle. And I was just looking at it, and something told me, Jordan, what in the hell are you doing? You could be saving up right now. You save up and take the class. Get your motorcycle license. It's never too late. So I started doing that. Now, in my opinion, in this economy, you need at least 2 jobs. You need a job to pay for your needs, rent, utilities, bills, food, and you need a job for your wants. Whether it's a full-time job, part-time job, or partially time job. Now, in my case, I work a full-time job, and technically I work a partially time job. And if you want life to be a little easier for your partially time job or your second job, make it be something fun, something you enjoy. So you don't have to worry about working as much. Now, in my case, I play music on the side. And we get paid pretty good for it. But it's a lot of hard work too. Between practicing, rehearsing, gas money with it, and packing up gear, and hauling it, yeah, it's a lot of work. And you know, usually by the end of the show, I'm dead tired. But I know it's worth it. Okay, so we're taking a little ride around the block. You gotta find something you love doing. Now, I understand if you can't find a job in what you love doing, maybe you're just a major gamer for what reason, then my suggestion to you is, heck, just even put in an application at Taco Bell. It ain't much, but it's a little extra income on the side that you can be putting back. And I remember doing these shows, I put back 100 each time we played. 100 back each time we played. And if I was lucky enough in my full-time job, I put back 100 each week. And eventually I saved up, and I got what I wanted. So it's never too late to ride, guys. It's never too late. And I'll go ahead and say this. When you start telling people you want to ride or you're going to ride, you're going to get a lot of negative criticism. And what I mean by that, everybody, and I mean everybody, knows a mom, dad, uncle, aunt, cousin, nepson, any of that, who's died from a motorcycle crash. Well, let me tell you something. You take a risk in everything you do, especially in today's world. And I'm saying this after an innocent woman got stabbed on a train, and an assassination was made, and there was a school shooting the same day, I believe. So let me ask you something. Do you think you take a risk every time you step outside? I think so. Because it's getting more chaotic throughout the years. So, my theory is this. We're all going to die someday. That's a fact. And you take a chance every time you step outside your door. That's a fact. But my question to you, is it worth the risk to you? Is it worth the risk? In my opinion, with motorcycling, yes, it is. The joys of riding, being able to travel and commute and feel the wind in your face is so much rewarding than any risk. The fact that I can fill up my gas tank here with $10 or less is rewarding. The fact I got a second vehicle that I like better than my main vehicle is worth the risk. But with this vlog, I hope I inspire people who are broken, hopeless, down on their luck, don't know what to do, and just need to get out and feel the wind. Anyways, back to how motorcycling saved me. When my mother died, it about killed me. It about killed me. Because I spent so much of my life with this woman. And she taught me a lot. And there's nothing like grieving by taking it out on the throttle. Just like that. I understand the bike life ain't for everyone. Who knows? You might be destined to be a passenger princess. Which I've never been a passenger princess. Don't plan on being it. But let's say your bike's broke down. There's very little to nothing you can do. And your buddy who is riding a Sportster sees you. And, well, I hate to ride bitch, but I guess I'll be riding bitch on the Sportster just to get some smokes and a cigarette and some coffee before I call somebody who knows what they're doing to repair it. But the biker community is awesome. I'll say that. There's nothing like riding down a long open road and you see a fellow rider also riding, and he gives you the two down sign, which, in case y'all didn't know, it's also called the biker wave. You pass a fellow biker, you get your first two fingers, stick them out on the side of the road. And to me, people say it's just a wave. To me, in my perspective, it's me saying, ride safe, come home, and hopefully you'll come home to your family, your kids, or whoever's waiting on you at home, because I know a lot of bullshit happens. A lot of bullshit can happen while riding. And that's another thing they'll teach you at the Harley-Davidson course. You always got to be on watch. You never know when a deer can pop out. You don't know when a cow can pop out. Heck, someone could just run a red light and hit you. Now, a lot of people say, well, it's the biker's fault, blah, 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 because I can't see him or he was speeding. No, actually, usually the case, it's the person sees the biker and thinks, oh, well, I got it. No, you don't. Then that's where accidents happen. But there's a lot of factors that play into crash too. Speeding is one of them. Now, in my opinion, there is a time and a place to speed. Right now is not a good time to speed because I got a curve coming up, I got a car in front of me. But here soon, hopefully, it'll be time to speed. There ain't nothing wrong with speeding, but you gotta do it responsibly. Responsibly. Now, when I speed, I don't speed the whole 9 yards. That's a big no-no. Because there's a little voice inside my belly that tells me to lay off and when to lay off. And I know the best time to lay off on a long, straight country road is when you see a hill that's blocking your view or is potentially blocking your view. Now I'm going to do a little splitting right here because I am tiny. That's another good reason to own a bike too. Get through traffic a lot quicker. We coming to a halt? It looks like it. That guy's going, I'll let him have the right of way. Alright. So, if I'm doing a good job on this video, let me know. If I'm doing a horrible job on this video, let me know. I think this video is going to come out better than the others because I did my homework. I didn't do much research, but done 2 things that anyone should do when they're having a problem. Fuck around and find out. And that's exactly what I've been doing. So I tested the mic placement on my way home from my job. And if you plan on riding, let me know in the comments what your first bike's going to be. What's your dream bike? Where'd you like to go?